And this guy is Bill Campbell. So John Doerr, who invested money in Google, told Eric Schmidt, Eric, go get a coach. And Eric was thinking, I'm a CEO, I know pretty much what to do. And Eric is a top Silicon Valley Sun Microsystems CTO before. He's a veteran of Silicon Valley. And he said, go get Bill Campbell. And there is a ESPN, not ESPN, CNN article, CNN Money article, CNN Money article where he says, the best thing that happened to me was to have a coach. I thought I knew everything. So let's go here. This is the 49ers, which is American football. This guy was the coach, Bill Walsh, who transformed raw talent from a guy called Joe Montana, and they won what's known as Super Bowl. Many, many times. Do you know this guy? This guy you should know. How many know this guy? Yeah. Michael Jordan for Chicago Bulls, which is the team, he used to always be the top scorer. 5 years in a row. But they did not win championships. It wasn't happening. This guy came along. He was a basketball player, but more importantly, he had also studied Zen Buddhism. And he came there and he told him, Michael, the opposing teams have figured out in the playoffs, championships, to surround you, how to surround you. What do you want to do? You want to be a player or you want to be a winner? And that was the transformation that happened. Michael continued to score, but more importantly, he continued to pass the ball for someone else to score. So leadership is not about doing it yourself only. It's also about enabling. Okay? You all know about this story, right? Gary Kirsten. Gary Kirsten was not a great cricketer, actually. But what can he potentially do to a Rahul Dravid and Tendulkar and all these guys? He's not going to teach them cricket. I mean, they figure it out. It's not about skills. It's about the psyche. It's about the awareness. It's about the consciousness. That is why in life you need somebody to shine the mirror on you. The sooner you do it, given that the number of days you have on earth is now you know the number of days. Okay, that's the jnana you got today, right? So that's what it is. I stands for interdependence. Life is about interdependence. How many are married here? How many are living together with a girl or a boy but not married? It's okay, by the way. It's okay to do that. The point is, out of 7 billion people, if you are in a relationship with somebody, you're going to share time and space with them. You better figure it out how to make 1 + 1 11. You better figure it out. Otherwise, all the things we talked about will happen. And that is life leadership. Same thing in teams. Same thing with your professors. And vice versa for the faculty who are here. Same thing with the students. Same thing. You are in the same boat. Okay? That is why interdependence, in Chinese you have yin yang, in Sanskrit you have paraspara, shoga ijon is in Japanese. Figure it out. And teamwork sometimes can be like this. Does it happen in your teams? Yeah? This happens all the time. He did it. She did it. His stuff doesn't work. This is not just you guys. This is in companies, big fancy companies. Okay? And leaders always focus on newness. If things are going well, they say, which is the next mountain we climb? If things are not going well, for 1 minute, they look in the mirror and say, oh my God. And say, what did we learn from it? And say, what next? Plan B. There is no time to be a cynic. There is no time to blame. Okay? That's what leadership is. I touched upon it earlier. Universality. Think like a global citizen. Don't think about somebody from Andhra Pradesh, Kerala, Karnataka, or Japanese, Indian. Don't. Think of everybody as a human being trying to do the same thing. We're all trying to do only 4 things. in life. 4 things. This has to be satisfied. We want to learn something. This has to be satisfied. We want to hug and love each other and laugh. This has to be satisfied. There were some pakodas there. And if you are lucky, we get wise and the soul is also liberated. That's it. And we do all kinds of transactions in life which we need to do. We have interactions in life and relationships in life which we need. But that's all we remember our parents for. That's all we remember my business associates for. That's why I remember Nagarajan for. That's it. And in between you got all this crap. All this crap and our biases. The sooner you get past that, in your head you'll be a leader and you'll be able to create bigger and bigger and bigger things. Why? Because your time is your currency. S, the most important one. Creating spark when you're down and motivating yourself is hard. You agree? But you know what the greatest gift of the universe is? Creating spark in another human being. That's the greatest gift of it. The more and more and more we can do it, the more grateful to the divine we are for having that power and ability. Because in order for us to create a spark in another person, we need clarity within our own selves. That you will find will be very important in life. Okay? How many of you have a relative who's mentally impacted? I respect you. It is very hard because the only thing that we are praying at that moment is that somehow there is a switch in their head because we are helpless. Would you agree? That's the way it is. So, folks, life is a T-minus. Your countdown has started right away. Don't get scared, but be more purposeful. That's all I had. Thank you. Glad to take questions. No questions. Any questions or no? How are you doing? You have a question. Yeah, please, is there a microphone? Please give him a microphone. No, it's videotaped and it doesn't come out very well. I have seen the old videotapes, it doesn't come out well. Please give him a microphone. Please stand up. Say your name, which year you're from, what do you do?
Hello everybody, my name is Swarnim Soni. I am pursuing MTech in Computer Science Department, second year. My question is, can you give me an example of how 1 plus 1 can make 11 or more?
Sure. I'll give you an example from my personal life. I am a creative wacko. You can tell by now. My wife is very organized and linear thinker. I'm a spatial thinker. I couldn't figure it out early days of my life because typically I would say, you're not doing this, you're not creative, da da da. And she would say, you're never organized, da da da. So, if we say we have to go camping, I would say let's go north. Because on the map I found something very interesting, very rustic jungle. And I say, we're going, Sunday. And my wife says, wait, have you made a booking? Is there hot water? All of that stuff. So, over a period of time, I was trying to make her me. And she was trying to make me her. And they was like, hey, you never organize, my God. And I would say, well, how does it matter? We have a van, we can sleep in the van anyway. Now what I do is I say, let's go north. I send her an email, and then she's the one who makes sure there's food on the first morning, the second morning, and the third morning. And when we go there, what happens is we're going in the middle of the night, there's a tent, and we wake up in the morning and see big redwood trees. So we got the best of both. We got the best of both. I'm not very good at paying the bills. I mean, I pay the bills, but I'm not very good at doing the transactions. I forget, or it's boring. So over a period of time, and I'm fortunate that we've come to reconcile what we do best. So I outsource that to her. I give the money, but I outsource that to her. Yeah, that's an example. And you have other things also. There are people who are quiet listeners, and one might be an extrovert, and many times those who are extroverts, we think too fast, and we may not be very cohesive in our thinking. It helps to have an introvert who listens there, and then we go outside the room and say, what do you think? The most important conversation, by the way, in life is, what do you think? Those of you who are in a relationship with somebody, and you have a conflict with your parents, ask your parents, what do you think? Ultimately, you'll make your own decision. Have the courage to say, what do you think? I love you. Do that. You're better off doing that. If they don't agree, respect them. You don't have to agree with them, because ultimately it's your life journey. But show them more love and say, I love you a lot, but this is my life. Figure out how to not convince them, but sort of bring them to your camp. It might mean taking the person you're in a relationship with to their house to meet them. It might mean anything. What do you think is the most important conversation in life? Even for venture capital, two of them come to the meeting. After the meeting is over, after your startup pitch, they go and talk to each other and say, what do you think? Should we put our money on these guys? What do you think? What do you think? So do that. But it takes courage. Was that help? Thank you. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
So how can an introvert arouse a spark within?
Your name?
My name is Raghav.
Please stand up. It's going to be recorded.
My name is Raghav. I'm in my 4th year BTech. And my question is that how can an introvert arouse a spark within?
Within? Or to others?
Within. I mean, at times when we feel low, at times when we feel that things are not going the way they should have been, how do we motivate ourselves?
I don't think I have quite the answer, but I can suggest that the way an extrovert motivates themselves is the same way an introvert motivates themselves. And that's a speculation on my part. I'm not a psychologist. I think it's the same way by which you bring out your inner energies. And it could be anything. Some people get motivated by seeing a video. Some people get motivated by seeing somebody who's less fortunate than us. Usually when I want to be inspired and I'm down, I think things are not going well, I always look at somebody who's less fortunate than me. And I say, I'm doing great. What am I complaining about? Right? Or I ask myself, if I simplified my life, I only need this much place to sleep and just a roof on my head. Then things become very simple. That means I'm ahead of the game. So whether it's an introvert or an extrovert doesn't quite express themselves to create spark within them. Okay? In my case, I look in the mirror and I say, I'm good. It works for me. Sometimes I say, I'm damn good when I'm in doubt. Works for me. Whatever works. And these things change over time. But it also helps to get inspiration from movies, if you like movies, or something else, or stories, or something else. Mahabharata is not a bad idea. There are a lot of characters in that who've all gone through travails. That is why these stories matter. They're in our subconscious. Does it help? Anyone else? Give him the microphone, please.
I'm Srinivas from Aerospace Department, PhD scholar. My question is, how did you get clarity about what you want to do in life, and what are the challenges you faced, and was there any confusion, and how did you overcome that confusion?
All of those questions are true. I went through the same journey that everybody goes through, and I wouldn't say I'm quite clear in my life. I'm still a fragile human being. I'm not a Buddha yet.